Alright, how's everybody doing tonight? What's going on in your world? So, I've gotten some stuff done today, despite having a brief interruption to take my kiddo to the urgent care. I have managed to disassemble a lot of this, and we are continuing the disassembly, but we will be restarting the reassembly here soon, hopefully in the next day or so. So, it's like I've already got a couple rings here. Let me show you what I got. I've got to take the outside. There's two weaves here, one on the inside, one on the outside. I got to take the outside section off and make it look like these, right? So I have, what, 10, 12 left of those. And I have this many assembled. I don't know how many that is, but it's not none, right? And so that many assembled that need the outer box weave on it. And I need a total of 95. So once I'm done with this pile of rings right here, that should get me to close to having 95 of these. Robot dreads, yeah, it kind of does look like that, huh? Like those Matrix beasts. An octopus sculpture or a squid sculpture. I've seen one. I've seen someone do one. That would be cool. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. So, yeah. Took a bunch of it apart. Restarted what I was doing. For anyone not aware. Okay. I'm taking small rings like these, weaving them into big rings, and then weaving the big rings together, and we're going to make a cube out of them, basically. Essentially what I'm doing. I got halfway done, and I only had half the rings I needed. I have a bunch of new rings that I ordered that are just a skosh brighter than the old rings, and like really no one would really notice unless it was in the right light. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, Julie. How you doing? And the other issue is that the initial progress I had made, the rings that I made were a little too loose. I needed them a little more rigid, and so I reduced each ring by 1 unit so far. Can I make a muzzle for you? I'm gonna go with a muzzle. I don't typically do commissions, but I know someone who might be more familiar with what you would need. Thank you, Julie. And it's a page on TikTok called Links, Kinks, and Chainmail. And I don't know if they do custom work or are set up to take requests or anything, but you might talk with them. I typically don't take commissions. It's rare that I do. I've done a few, but I'm not set up for the most part to do commissions. I'm trying to finish all these projects in my basement, and we're getting there. We're getting progress in that endeavor. I didn't need to start this project though, and that delayed a whole bunch of my other projects that I was working on, but it is what it is. We'll get all caught back up here pretty soon, and I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 projects that hopefully I will have finished here soon. Just gotta Got to get some work done on them. The reality is that you can only open and close so many rings a day, right? There's only so many hours in a day to weave. And it's physically limiting on how long your body can work on a particular project. So that does slow me down a little bit too. Otherwise, I'd have all this done already. But I'll get these. Probably have these finished being disassembled by tomorrow, and then we'll start making these rings again and putting them together. So I should have a little more progress to show then. But I wanted to hop on here tonight, like I try to do every night, you know, and expose people. Hey, Astrid, how you doing? To the idea of making chainmail and showing off some of the cool things you can do with it, and just hang out, talk to myself, and respond to comments, and meet new people. So, how's everyone doing? For everyone looking for something made from chainmail, please check out Astrid Wolf. Give her a follow. She does excellent chainmail work. Comes highly recommended, not just by me, but by many other happy customers. And unlike me, she is set up to do custom requests and cool stuff like that. I aspire to be like her one day. I'll get there. Hopefully next year. You're very welcome. So, what is that? Instagram notification? I don't care for Instagram. I'm not going to lie. Any of the meta socials, I don't care for them. But anyway, I was going to say, so this morning started off, kiddo was a little ill, coughing up a bunch of stuff, so he stayed home from school. And we went to the doctor and got him some antibiotics and some steroids, and he's doing a little better now, but he's got tomorrow off from school too. Or I'm sorry, he's got Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. And so, like, yeah, okay, he feels a little bit better right now, but also he could just stay home and have a 5-day weekend. That would be probably best for him. Oh, you're getting very annoyed with Insta's video editing. I tried, to post frequently there, routinely, and it never goes anywhere. So, I always get the, hey, you can boost this ad for $10 to be seen by 300 people. And it's like, why? Same with Facebook. It's like, I don't want to give you money. I would appreciate it if Facebook showed all my posts to everyone in my audience, right? Then I would be more inclined to be like, yeah, okay, we can grow this a little bit. But they don't. They don't. My posts get seen by like 3 people on my business page. My posts with on my personal page, still, 30, 40 people out of 3,000. So, I don't know. I'm not inclined to give them money. That was you last week? Oh, with sick kids? Yeah. I don't know. My kid was... Here's the issue I have. I am an RN. I have been an RN for almost 20 years now. My kid was tripoding. It's where you have your hands between your legs and you're hunched over, sitting in a chair, having trouble breathing, right? It's a kind of like a late sign of a bad asthma attack, right? And the doctor comes up with her stethoscope and listens to him and tells me, as I can hear him audibly wheezing and I'm 3 feet away, she tells me that, oh, his lungs sound a little tight, but he's not wheezing. I was like, oh. I just, gave her the stank eye. Then she offered me some lab tests, and I was like, no, I just, and antibiotics and a steroid should fix him up right. Because he was up all night coughing. He's got a productive cough. He's short of breath. When he put the pulse ox on, he was at 93. So, I'm like, you know, I was going to send him to school because he wasn't running fevers. But he's lucky his mom has a tender spot for sick kids, where dad is a cruel nurse and is like, oh, you're not dying, you're going to school, buddy. But he got his meds. He's feeling better now. I was just kind of irritated with the doctor. It's like, I can hear him audibly wheezing. And what are you talking about? He's not wheezing. Like, what do I know? I am just a nurse. So other than that, we got his meds. We got some McDonald's. We came home. We all took naps. And I actually took a a grocery bag. I had a bunch of these that I'm disassembling in a grocery bag that I took to the hospital with us, and I was disassembling one, and somebody asked me what I was doing, and I got a minute to share a little chainmail info with them, so that was cool. That's weird. Hopefully not your normal doc. No, it's not my normal doctor. My our normal pediatrician was packed full. Didn't have anything open for today, so I just took him to urgent care. And this is a doctor that I've actually worked with when I was still seeing patients. So I don't know what her deal was today, but whatever. My kid got treated, right? At the end of the day. That's all that matters. It's one of those things. A lot of parents don't know to advocate for their kids, so they just accept what the doctors say. And, you know, the doctors are not often wrong, I suppose. I suppose that they're right more often than not. But usually you don't see like parental advocacy for parents, or usually you don't see advocacy from parents for their kids unless it's like a chronic illness where the parent has researched the child's illness through and through and knows more about the illness than 99% of all people on earth, including the doctor, right? Kid's got a cough. Parent takes them in to be seen, and they're good to go. They don't, you know, if the cough continues for months and months and months and no treatment works, then that's when you see parents really start to dig into what's going on. And I've seen it over and over and over with families, and it's anecdotal, of course. I'm not saying it's that way all the time, but that's, from my experience, it's what it seems like. It's like the chronic illness ones are where you get the parents that are just die hard for their kiddo and won't take no for an answer from anybody, have to have everything, you know, spelled out, like, why are we doing this versus that kind of thing, which is, it's a good thing for a parent to be that way. All right. Yeah, that was our exciting day. Now he's chilling, playing video games. He's feeling better. And I am trying to put this thing back together that I decided to make for some silly reason. Now, last night we did discuss a concept where I want to make sure the rings are all facing the right direction, right? Or the same direction. So all the rings in a row going vertically, or rolling the same way, and all the rings horizontal are rolling the same way in every axis, on every axis. So I'm going to try and stick with that as we put this together. I think it's a important step just to make sure that you're just really monitoring those small details when putting together such a big piece, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I'm going to put one more unit on here. You had to stand your ground with your docs about your kid? Good. Do it. Make sure you, as a patient and a parent, you have a right to know everything that's going on. And I realize that doctors don't have a lot of time with with the way that the American healthcare system is currently set up. Right? 5 minutes per patient. That's not a lot of time to figure out what's going on. It's enough time to shoot from the hip. So, but you as a patient or a parent, either one, have every right to ask questions and advocate for yourself and demand explanations until you understand what's going on. All right, so sometimes when you look at this, it's like, is it going the right way? All right. Yes, we're going the right way. So, we'll assemble this real quick, and then we'll start adding some box weave to these other chains here, and that's pretty much all I'm going to be able to do tonight, just time constraints. Was there a particular thing you had to stand your ground with the doc? Like they didn't want to provide a treatment? That's another thing too, is due to the nature of the American healthcare system, a lot of times there are treatments available that your insurance company won't cover, and you have to push and push and push, and there's ways to go around it, but most people don't know to ask for the treatment or how to get their insurance companies to cover it, right? That happens a lot too. All right, that looks cool. Thanks, Barb. I'm doing good. How are you? It's good to see you. It is cool. It'll be cooler once I get it back to where it was. I had a lot more of these little rings done, all woven into a cube, and then I decided to take it apart because I am a silly person. They're trying to push to go into a Head Start thing. There's no need for it. Yeah. You're doing okay? That's good to hear. Isn't your kid like 2? What do you need? What does a 2-year-old need Head Start for? I'm confused. And why is a doctor recommending that? Like, that's weird. All right. So, get to when you're connecting these rings in on themselves, you get to weave like upside down and backwards, and right now I can't see. So that's fun. You always want to make sure that you have good closures. But it helps. It seems sketched like a money grab? Yeah. Like, why is the doctor talking to you about Head Start at all? Ever. Stay in your lane, man. Your lane is narrowly defined. None of it has anything to do with Head Start. And this is not... Well, no, this... I don't know. I have doctors that... Because I'm covered by the VA, I am assigned a doctor. I can put up a fuss and get a new one if I really don't like one of my doctors, but really it's just, it is what it is. I just don't complain and go see whatever doctor they assign me. I don't really worry about it too much because I have 20 years of experience in the medical field and a more than a basic level knowledge of how medicine works. So I don't worry too much. Like if a doctor says something I don't agree with, I'll just tell him no. You know, they were saying he was behind developmentally, but he was 3 weeks early and was hitting milestones. Yeah, so I mean, sure, there are some developmental delays that can be cause for concern, but that just sounds absurd to me. All right. So, closing the rings on the inside of this, closing these rings, you see these rings kind of hanging down here? That's a pain because you can hardly see them, right? For anyone watching up above, it's these rings. And then the rings on the outside, because these are spring steel, hoo boy. They are one tough cookie to get closed. Wasn't anything big and hit the marks every time. He just wasn't as fast as they wanted. And he was in a NICU for a week. I'm still confused by, he's before 2 years old. What is Head Start going to do for him? Right? I'm not familiar with the services available in any Head Start program, but I've never heard of anything that would take a developmentally delayed kid and solve anything for them. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not familiar with the service enough to be speaking on it. Doc, still waiting for your old man to mature from video games and childish antics? Yeah, family is tossing the towel on it happening. You blame it on him never teaching you, so you've got a lineage of not growing up. Yeah, there you go. Any ideas where to get like a starter kit for? Just make a keychain. King Corey, yes I do. Have I got a deal for you? So, if you want to just get a kit, dabble your toe in the water, so to speak, there is about 12 or 13 different chainmail suppliers, and a few of them have kits available, like a little, maybe a keychain or a Byzantine bracelet or something that'll come with all the components that you need. If you go in the link tree in my bio, you can download the Mailworks app, and there's a section listed suppliers that has all those suppliers listed. But I'll give you the names of a couple if you just want to research a little bit. There is We've Got Mail, WeaveGotmaille.com. You've got metaldesigns.com. Designs is spelled with a Z. I don't remember. That's why they're listed in the app, right? You want to make a keychain cross and cast it in resin? That may take a little more... where would you find a keychain cross? I would say Etsy for a kit, right? I wonder if you might try joshuadiliberto.com. Also listed in the supplier section on the Mailworks app. He might have a cross listed in his kits. He has a bunch of kits. And Other than that, you might find a tutorial on Etsy. I don't know of anyone that sells a specific cross kit. Make your own cross, you don't want to buy one? Yeah, no, you would just, JoshDiliberto.com would just have the kit. So you'd get the rings and the tutorial, and you'd have everything you'd need to make it. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the share. Appreciate you. So that's the only supplier that I can think of. You just need the kit. You can make a heart. You can make a clover leaf. Just give you the route. Yeah. The only supplier I can think of that would have something like that is Josh Diliberto. What is this ring doing? Everyone else is their kits are like Chainmail Joe has a wonderful starter kit and a booklet of tutorials that you can learn a bunch of different weaves from and a bunch of different ring sizes. But that's not, he doesn't have like specific items to make. Does that make sense? Metal, I think Metal Designs and We've Got Mail, like their kits are all just chains. I don't think they're particular designs. So I hope that helps. JoshuaDiliberto.com. Yeah, okay, I did this the right way. All right, now for the outside rings. These are the ones that I'm going to try to avoid stabbing myself on accident here. What about overstock and didn't you discontinue stock specials with your different suppliers? I don't know of anyone that sells overstock. Let's see here. I want to say the Ring Lord does wholesale for materials. The ringlord.com. They're based up in Canada. Looks like Brilliant Twisted Skulls has a cross kit. You want to say Kirk does a lot of amazing work in the mail group? I mean, he does. He's an amazing chainmail artist. I've never looked at his Etsy store, so I don't know what's on there, to be honest. Oh. This ring is woven wrong. That's why it's not... It's like I don't even know what I'm doing. Goodness. And I have like no room to grab this ring. How'd I get it in there? I'm gonna have to take this ring out. There we go. All right. I've got people over on Facebook saying that Kirk it's Brilliant Skull on Etsy, and they have a variety of cross kits. There. That's much better. I would at some point like to grab some kits and put them together and show people and highlight some creative chainmail artists that we have in the community. I don't know how they'd feel about me doing that though, so I would definitely want to clear it with them. But yeah, getting these on the outside. I'm going to hurt myself one of these days. I wonder, where's my... Alright, there we go. That works a little better. Alright. See if I can duplicate that. Use my Zurons for these outside rings. Because there's no room to grab and close this on the outside. Even that didn't work. Alright. Jabbed yourself good earlier? Ugh. Make a post inviting others to offer a basic kit and don't share the ring size to be welcomed. Versus obscure designs and stating every part of it. Keep the tutorial out of frame. Just make it like we're joining you watching. Yeah, I think that some people would be okay with me doing it and others would not. Like clearly, I don't want to give out all their information, but you know, I do want to share their stuff with the world. You know. Come on. Thank you for the share. Appreciate you. Thank you for the follow. Alright, last one here. Now earlier when I was building this cube, I didn't know how many rings I had. So I just started like the basic layout of a cube. But with this one, I'm going to do the 3 rows, right? So 21 rings. They should stand up like this. And we'll make 21 of these. And build out a square and then build up from there for the purpose of making sure that all of the rings orientations and how the rings are aligned make it so that everything is going the same direction. What is this? You don't belong here. What are you doing? All right. Now we can... I need a drink of water. I think that ring's a little too wonky. So, gonna add the outside box weave, and then we'll try and attach it if we have time. Time's at 9 o'clock. We'll see. We've got a lot of these to do. I haven't counted up. Like this pile right here is all strips of full Persian that we have to add the box weave on the outside to make it sandworm. So I don't know how many I have there, but I think it's probably about 20 or 30. So I had, when I got the cube built up and decided to tear it apart, I had almost 40 rings done. I was almost halfway done. So, and I was like, nope, that's not gonna work. Gotta tear it apart and make it right. But it'll all be better in the end. What else have we got? I did finish up a wallet chain earlier today. I mentioned earlier I don't typically take commissions, but got this done. Nice bull's head keychain. "16 gauge 3/8 rings. I don't remember what size they were, but they were a little dirty. I tumbled them up in with some ceramic, and feels pretty smooth. So I did finish that up today. Need to make 2.6 versus 2.8 AR ring? Yeah, exactly. I need to shrink the AR by just a hair. So that these rings would make a more rigid cube, and my sculpture didn't look like a sagging piece of chainmail. So I think I made the right decision. It's a lot of work to correct, but the end product should be better for it. And then once I'm done here, I still have 3 other multi-thousand ring projects to finish. So hopefully we'll be done with those soon. And we can move on to bigger and better things. Have I ever made a scorpion? No, I have not. Then I'm trying to think. There is someone who's done like scorpions and spiders. They all have an internal wire frame that the chainmail is built around. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that to differentiate it from some other sculptures. Like I have a friend, her name's Peg, and she makes ducks. And it's like I've seen a chainmail scorpion. Maybe it wasn't a scorpion, maybe it was a spider, I don't remember. But I can only think of one. Dragons, I've never made one. I have one planned. But if you're on TikTok there, if you go to Wayward and Whimsical, she is also known as Mother of Dragons. She cranks out a ton of awesome little chainmail dragons. It's looking like she's about to finish up a really large chainmail dragon here pretty soon, so looking forward to that. You don't think it's cheating if you use an armature? Art is art. I don't think it's cheating. I've just never seen one that was standalone chainmail by itself. Right? As opposed to ducks and pigs and hedgehogs and other things I've seen people create. And actually, you know what? The only one I can think of that doesn't have some kind of supportive device, because the pigs and the hedgehog that I've seen had like stuffing for them. Mike, how you doing? Mike and Melissa, how you doing? How what? What would you like to know? I'll tell you everything. But I don't know where they buried Hoffa. I can't tell you that. How did I get started in this? Saw my uncle doing it. How much for a full chest of chainmail? Trying to think who would do that. Like a full shirt. Hauberk. You can check out Joshua Diliberto. I know he does them. I don't know what his prices are. But the way... I haven't redone my shirts yet. And the way I plan on redoing them, with fur trim and leather lining the inside and all kinds of cool stuff. Doesn't negate the hours and hours and hours it took to make them, and you must commiserate with... I'm not trying to negate the labor that they put into something or the end result of their product. I am merely remarking on how they're made. I don't care how they made it. So if you want a custom riveted chainmail hauberk, you're probably looking... Yeah, John says 20 grand. I think that's probably about right. A shirt made from butted rings probably run you cheaper. ThinkGeek has a $150 aluminum shirt as soft as soda can aluminum. Yeah. So you can start with that one. It will tear itself apart just by wearing it. Probably just by existing. But just a butted, let's math this out real quick. Okay? A butted shirt made from 20,000 rings, right? What, 16 gauge 5/16? That should get from neck to knee, half length sleeves. 16 gauge 5/16 isn't necessarily going to tear itself apart. Material cost is probably $500 to $600 for that many rings, I would guess. And it's going to take you 2 months to assemble it. So $4 to $5 grand to commission someone to do it would be my guess. Dillbro sock cut 16 gauge stainless is 20,000. Yeah, artist name and ring maker. He ain't got time to make folks shirts. No, but it's not... I don't know. I don't think that's high necessarily coming from him. Let me put it that way. Right? As people get better and they get more name recognition and their art is, and skill and craftsmanship is recognized by people both in and outside the community, their ability to charge more for their stuff goes up. It's like, I hope one day someone will pay a lot of money for the stuff that I make. I don't know if that will ever be the case, but kind of why I'm sitting here doing this in front of people. Saw cut, 30 pounds of rings is about $3,000 plus labor assembly. Or they make their own rings, can find them for $600 to $800. But 30 pounds for a shirt. I don't know. I don't think either of my shirts weighs 30 pounds, but I haven't weighed them. I don't know. You know? I don't think any of my shirts weighs over 20 pounds, but only one is long sleeve. And that's Trinity. It's not even European 4-in-1. Trinity is like European 3-in-1. European 4-in-1 is a historical weave that's the weave that you see most chainmail made out of. Like all your movie chainmail is European 4-in-1. Minimum 30 pounds. So if you go from neck to knee and do full sleeves. Yeah, no, I could see chainmail shirt getting, or a chainmail hobart getting hefty. I don't want to carry around that much weight. I should make one of those one day. There was someone in the large chainmail group over on Facebook who made a really awesome trench coat. It was out of aluminum, and so it was like silvery aluminum, and I think it goes down to the ground on them, which I don't know if that's saying very much because it looks like they're not that tall, but you know, still big feet even for a short person. And it had these red crosses in the back. Any idea what a full set of armor weighed back in the day? Probably 60 to 80 pounds, if not more. Yeah, with the crosses. That trench coat was sick. Yeah, full set of armor, plate armor. Depending on like, I know jousting, they didn't wear all their armor, but if you were going to fight in a battle on a field, you'd wear it all. It's hefty. I know that my plate armor that I wore while I was deployed did not weigh as much as their armor did. Unless I was carrying my rucksack, which there was, you know, 40 pounds of armor plus and 60 to 80 pound rucksack, so plus a weapon, plus ammunition. I think that they moved to plate as it reduced weight, not added it. Mail 60 to 80 pounds is common unless heavy mail. Right, but a full suit of armor. Chainmail sausage. How you doing, Forethought? I'm gonna grab a fistful of chainmail sausages for you. I would have to look it up. Let's see here. Do I have... Is there a quick chapter on arms and armor, artillery, fortifications, warships? I have this book on armor that I haven't read, and it's got all kinds of citations in the back. That's a lot of citations. How many pages of citations? Let's see here. From 313 to 333. That's 20 pages of citations on armor and castle sieges and whatever else they said. Yeah. So I have a book. Probably in this book is someone says like how much plate armor weighs. I don't know. I assume it's really heavy. Second, thank you for service, sharing your life. Thank you for your support. This is awesome Jeopardy ammo. There you go. So I need to read that book. It's been down here for a while, and every time I come down here, I think, oh, I will work on a project instead of reading this book that I paid money for, so that I could read it, so that I could learn more. But I do have a book. I am set on a path of furthering my knowledge base. But to be honest, even if I had read the book, or if I had known how much that armor weighed, I've forgotten more about chainmail than I remember, even at this stage. So I'm not sure I would remember how much it weighed. I know that this project, when I'm done, will weigh around 22 pounds. So you know they likely just melted down broken armor and weapons to be reforged, but I mean, maybe someone did. I think that most armor that was able to be repaired was repaired, because when you melt down different metals of unknown metallurgical content, during battles, if they didn't have time, they could use scraps like ammo for catapult. Oh, I'm sure they did that. Yeah, just throw whatever you can in the catapult and lunge away. Like the bodies of the diseased. But yeah, you can't... Well, and like I said, I'm sure someone did, but you can't melt down metals of unknown metallurgical content without ending up with something akin to pig iron. And pig iron is it's not useful for anything, so you are best off trying to repair whatever you're working with or turning it into something else. And I'm talking like, you know, your local village blacksmith isn't melting down huge chunks of steel. They're going to be repairing, as opposed to like whoever is providing the steel to the blacksmith. They might know how to properly melt down metals. Do I go to any Renaissance fairs? Pig iron is not cast iron. Cast iron is cast iron. Pig iron is a term that it's when you melt down a bunch of different metals into one thing. And Warvok, you know what? I'm not going to claim that definition is 100% accurate. That is just what I understand. So I am willing to be wrong on that one. So I go to the Bristol Renaissance Festival when I have the opportunity. It is close by my house. I've been to the Maryland Renaissance Festival, Texas Renaissance Festival, and the Sherwood Forest Fair. There is another Renaissance Fair. It's one weekend. It's near me. It's out in Janesville. It's about an hour away, whereas Bristol is like an Uber away. of the Renaissance festivals, Texas and Bristol had the most like shops and performances. Maryland was the first one I went to. It was the most fun. And like I said, I haven't been out to the one in Janesville. It's only one weekend a year, so the two nearest to you are both 4 hours away, one north and one west. There you go. So it was cool to connect with the people. Yeah, it's fun. It's like I remember I was selling. I worked with a buddy of mine and sold a bunch of stuff on commission out of one of the booths at the Texas Renaissance Festival one year. And then the next year when I went, I saw people wearing the stuff I had made. So that was awesome. But I don't do much vendoring anymore. It's not conducive to my lifestyle. So I just take my kid to the Ren Fair and we go visit our friends at the local chainmail booth here. That's very flattering. To come back the next year and see people wearing your stuff. I thought so. If that's what you're talking about. I was like, heck yeah. So you could have bought anybody else's stuff and you chose to buy mine. Okay, almost done with this one, which means we got, yeah, it's 9:30. We got time to connect it. Hey, Yeetus, how you doing? Come on. All right. For anyone interested in getting some chainmail made themselves, Yeetus makes chainmail as well. You should give him a follow. Check out his work. And if you want something made, he might be able to help you out. Totally. Repeat customers. Yes, that's awesome. It is. Okay, one more ring and then we'll add it to our base layer. Can't even get this closed. Okay. Couple more rings for that. I want to. Okay, if these are all pointed, I want to look at the direction everything is going, because I want to make sure that it doesn't really matter yet. Got a big chain coming up, right on. Do I know of any artists that are doing chainmail over structures and welding them? No, for stuff like that, like big pieces of chainmail that I've seen are erosion barriers alongside of highways holding stuff up. And then the other one I can think of is the 3 million ring curtain around Hell House, and I think it's in Scotland or something, and it's to keep the water off Hell House so that it can dry out. And then the third one would be one of the guys that worked at Weta Productions down in New Zealand for Lord of the Rings was named Kane. I forget his last name. And he left Weta to develop what's called cane mail, which is this chainmail made from plastic using some kind of plastinization process. It's like top secret, copyrighted, trademarked process that they use. And they make giant sheets of chainmail for providing sunlight reduction in skyscrapers and car lots and big buildings. But those are like the big pieces of chainmail that I'm familiar with. It's a lot of TIG welding? Yeah, not it, exactly. So as far as big pieces coming from individual artists, I've seen some really large rain chains be made. I just saw one the other day, actually. And those are very cool. I would like to attempt something like that myself. Hey, Mystic, how you doing? That's so interesting. Thank you. You're very welcome. Okay, give me just a sec, and I will explain what is going on here. This chaos that you see. Okay, so what I'm making, I'm making a cube, right? Like this. This is a Japanese 4-in-1 chainmail cube, and this is a fairly large cube using small rings, right? Then this is a weave called Sandwyrm. It's got a core weave like this, and then you put the outer rings on, right? And we're wrapping themselves around to make rings, and then we are weaving those rings together, and we will make a cube that is bigger than this, and actually they'll have a similar amount of rings. This one will have 16,000. This one has 18. So, but it's all these small rings used to make big rings. And I had a much further along progress photo, but then I decided to tear everything apart, and well, here we are. The ring looks like back tire of a motorcycle. Have you ever seen a motorcycle chainmail? I have one saddlebag where the lid is covered in chainmail right now, and I'm currently wrapping the second one, and it's over on my workbench right there, if you would like to see it. How did I weave this ring? What in the world is going on here? Goodness me. Wow, I really screwed that up. Are the rings stainless? These rings are stainless, yes. The rings on, let's see here. Hang on. The rings on this cube are all bright aluminum rings. You're getting to do a get back, oh, okay. A get back whip. Where are we at? Hi, Vivian. This is Insanity. You love it. Thank you. All right, one more. Please, at my earliest convenience. You want to see my saddlebag? Give me just a sec. Let me throw this ring in here, and I will show you. I'll show you the completed one. All right, give me 2 seconds. This is the front of the saddlebag. You can see all the leather lacing on the edge and on the sides here. Right, and this is the top of the saddlebag. And you've got the chainmail with the leather edging covering where the chainmail connects to the saddlebag, and then the lacing that goes all the way through everything, holding everything together. So I've got one of these done. I'm 3/4 of the way through the other one. So that's dope. Thank you. Where's my project? They should have been done a long time ago and on the bike, but I am lazy. I started that project in the beginning of Christmas break. So all I have to do is have them done before the blessings on the bike on May 25th, and I'm good to go. Craftsmanship design, use color at the top. Shut the front door. Thanks, guys. So, once those are done, throw them on the bike, and then I'm going to do a leather and chainmail motorcycle bib, or a gas tank bib, and then wrap the toolkit in chainmail, and that'll be all the leather and chainmail for the bike. And then I'm going to take the front rear fenders off, the side panels, the gas tank, and send them to be hydro dipped in a chainmail pattern that I'll design on the computer. And then that'll be, so leather and chainmail this year, hydro dip next year, then the year after that, we're looking at getting a larger engine, putting a turbo on there, doing a chain conversion, dual disc brakes in the front. How many hours did it take for that? Most of the chainmail was already made. Like, I had to make the diamond pattern, but all the black and stainless was already woven together. But the lacing is like 12, 14 hours by itself, between the lacing and the chainmail and cutting all the leather stripping and everything. I probably have 80 hours into it for one bag. And that's just testing and fitting and trying to get everything to work nicely. Making sure that it looks clean and everything. So it's, I mean, it feels like forever, but it's one of those things where there's no instructions on how to do it. You have to sit down and figure it out. And by the time I figured, let me just put it this way. It took me a hot minute to figure everything out. So, but I got it. I got the process down. I wouldn't do it again because you have to destroy the saddlebags in order to put those on there. So unless I get another bike or something, then that's the only one I'm probably ever going to do. Amazing, all the creative people that you run across. You're definitely a top 10. Aw, thank you. There are, I mean, in the chainmail community, there are people who do much cooler stuff than me. Don't get me wrong, like, I've been at this for a long time, so it just looks like I'm good, as opposed to, this is just a lot of experience. There are people who are at this for 2 or 3 years, and they're instantly rock stars and better than me. Like this, what I'm doing here, making the sandworm weave. It's not a complicated weave. It looks complicated, but anybody could figure it out, right? It's 2 fairly basic weaves that you learn early on, right? But turning it into a ring in and of itself and weaving it into a cube, that is also not a complicated thing. I just have, experience that it's like, oh, well, what should I make next? Oh, this 17,000 ring project. I should do that while I'm in the middle of other multi-thousand ring projects. Let me stop everything I'm doing. The craftsman show on the bag was impeccable. Well, thank you. The only issue I have with it here, I'll show you. Is I'm not experienced in upholstery. Hang on. Let me change my camera angle here. And so, when it came to this edge right here, and the way these 2 ends connected, right? I could have done that better, right? Bringing those together. And I know what I would have liked to do now after I've done it. But other than that, everything else, all the edging, all the lacing, the way the chainmail fits, right? I'm just trying to duplicate the other one. That's probably my biggest challenge, is getting the second one to look like the first one. It's mostly there, but give yourself a mulligan, you deserve it. Thanks. That's the challenge of having a creative mind. Yeah, the struggle to figure out like what you want to do and how to do it. Yeah. Where do I get my rings? So these rings are all from the Ring Lord. These are from chain-reaction.ca, Chain Reaction Canada. I have rings from Joshua Diliberto. I've got... Who else do I have rings from? Do I have rings from anybody else? I don't think so. But there's so much you can do with chainmail. Yeah. But Jacob... in the link tree in my bio is the link to the Mailworks app. It's got a bunch of resources for new and veteran chainmail artists. And there is a list of suppliers, about 12 of them that I am aware of, who exist in different parts of the world. But all of them do quality work. Provide you with quality supplies and stuff. You get rings from Joe's Chainmail and We've Got Mail. Oh, let me fix my other camera here. There we go. So, yeah, the multiple projects is a curse. I need to finish some stuff soon because I'm getting like irritated with the projects I have laying around that have been laying around for too long. Used to wind fencing wire around a metal rod and then cut them into rings as kids. That is what I started out doing with these snips and nippers, and that is how I first got started. Is a necklace possible? Hey, Jerry. Did I ever touch base with the ring maker in Australia? No, I did not. I checked my email. I didn't see an email from them, so that either that it probably means that the app isn't working correctly. But I did... The one I think you're talking about that you shared with me, John, I did reach out to them via their page, and so I will get back in touch with them soon. Jerry, if you're looking for a necklace, I don't have any made right now. But, Yeetus, are you still in here? Yeetus is still in here. Yeetus makes chainmail as well. And Astrid Wolf was in here earlier. She takes commissions. And Wayward and Whimsical on TikTok takes commissions. And these are all quality chainmail artists. Come highly recommended. Make wonderful stuff. A necklace is possible. I don't have time to take a commission right now for one. And I'm not set up as much as I'd like to take commissions at this moment in time. Soon, though. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Talked with her last week. She said she used the app that day, so we'll let her know to reach out. Yeah, and I will go through and double check my email because I get 500,000 spam emails in all of my inboxes all day long every day. But I did look, and I didn't see anything. So, but I'll get in touch with her. Sorry, I had to leave for a bit. Kiddo bedtime. Bearded Beaver, thank you for the share. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Yeah, so there is Astrid right there. She takes commissions and is set up to do that kind of stuff. And does wonderful work as well. And if you don't like Yeetus or you don't like Astrid, you can go and download the Mailworks app. And inside of the Mailworks app is an artist section specifically for people who want to find someone to make them something from chainmail. And all the artists are listed, do commission work. They have stock, as far as I know. And they all come highly recommended by me. Not that my name means anything or that I'm an expert or anything, but, you know, I would buy stuff from them. You got one you're working on? Thanks for all the quick info. You're very welcome. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Okay. Oh, we had to get the Zurons out for close these up last time, right? Let's see if we can. All right, last ring. Okay, there we go. That worked. It worked! Oh my gosh, it worked. Alrighty. Okay, so we are building out our base layer to rebuild this cube. We're just going to start with the 3x3 base layer and go from there. I've got I got a few more of these to take apart. I've got a bunch to add the outer weave to, and we'll get back to this cube looking like a cube. You want to get a dragon from Wayward someday? So do I. So do I. I want the scale dragon egg and a dragon inside that she makes. I want one of those. You're getting scales to make lotus flowers. Right on. Yeah, DM Yeetus if you're interested. He does good work. Thank you for the dinos. Appreciate you. Okay. I'll just start. We got, like, I don't know, 10 minutes left or so. Yeah, this is... We'll leave this in the shot, and as people come and go, they can wonder what that is. We'll leave that over here. So... And this goes for anyone. If you're looking at this and you think, oh, hey, I would like to learn how to do that, there is a ton of resources in the Mailworks app that's listed on Google and Apple. The link's in the link tree in my bio. Right? It's a great place to find tutorials, suppliers, where artists hang out online. There's a bunch of tools in there and more to come. Some of the icons are a bit wonky at the moment, but I'm in the middle of rebuilding it a little bit, and so I've got to get back onto the computer and do some work on it, but everything works. There is a Discord you can join. That is new. There was a chat wall, like a social wall, where people could post pictures and ask questions, but it did not, like, if you posted an image and someone made a comment on it, it didn't send you a notification that someone had made a comment on your image, and so people would come, they'd post once, and then they'd leave. So that's why we're moving to a Discord chat room, because most people are on Discord, and Discord's a lot more effective for communication. We did add the Scale Designer website, and it's not, I don't have the layout quite right on it yet, but that's a cool website that it was a side project for like someone's senior project, and it was up and working and people were using it, and then all of a sudden it was gone, and now one of the more experienced members of the chainmail community got a hold of the owner and bought the site from them. So they are in control, and they are making it like as custom to the chainmail, scale mail community as they can, which I think is pretty cool. Aedes, have a good night. I'm about to get out of here myself here in a little bit. So I'm super happy that someone from the chainmail community was interested in acquiring the rights to that website, because it seemed like such a useful resource for people. And we've lost so many resources that I hate to see another one go. You know what I mean? We've got that listed on the app. Like I said, I'm going to change the layout of it a little bit so that you don't go directly to the website when you push on the icon. It takes you to a page inside the app and then has their name listed with the website, the full website, so that if you have to, you can get onto the website on your computer and you're not trying to design scale pieces on your phone. It's starting to be a lost art. A bit, yeah. I mean, it has grown tremendously since I first started a long time ago, right? There are very large resources that were not available when I first started, that were built up over the course of my experience in this, that have died off. So in the short time period of 28 years that I've been doing this, just huge resources for chainmail were built up, and then now they're either remnants of what they once were, or they are completely gone. So it's nice to see someone take control of this one and of the Scale Designer and beef it up, you know? What else? I need to finish out my AWG SWG conversion chart. Just gonna make a fancy looking one, and I want to What was the other? I'm trying to think of what the other. There was another tool I was going to add. I've got it pulled up somewhere. I'd have to go look. But that's what's going on with the app. Trying to make it better for everyone. And if you get in there and you don't understand what the tool is for, you know, spend a little time in the chainmail community and you'll learn. It's just a resource for people to have, right? For people to have access to. A lot of it is just pointing to other resources. The underhanded portion of it, you think I built this app and it was just all altruistic, but there is a link to my website on there as well. So you're gonna check the Discord. There's not much there yet. We're still, I say we, I mean me. Going to add stuff. It doesn't need to be too complex, like a general chat room, a place to post your images, and I don't know what else, but like a regular user room, a section of rules, you know, don't keep it PG, stuff like that. All that's got to be built out still, but I'll get to it when I get to it. I'm not, as you can see, I've got my hands full. Alright, where are we at here? Okay. Alright. I don't necessarily want to repeat everything I just said. But for anyone watching, if you see someone making chainmail and you're like, oh, that's cool, I'd like to learn how to make that too, where do I start? My recommendation is download the Mailworks app. Uh-oh, hang on. Download the Mailworks app, go to the supplier section, find yourself a small kit to get yourself started on, right? A little Byzantine bracelet, necklace, project to work on. It'll give you, it should come with a tutorial and the right size rings that you need, and that will get you a nice quick little win. You'll make something cool like right off the bat. What I don't recommend is going, I don't recommend ordering rings from Amazon, Michaels, Temu, Etsy, not Etsy, Hobby Lobby, Michaels, Amazon, right? Don't order jump rings from those places. Order from suppliers who provide chainmail, who provide rings for chainmail, right? But then don't go into their website and order random ring sizes. You'll end up like me, where you have piles of rings that just sit there for decades and you don't know what to do with them. And so 20 years after you buy them, you'll come up with some crazy concocted half-brained idea of making a cube out of them. And it'll be more expensive than the initial rings that you bought, and it'll take 10 times as long. So don't go order random rings right off the bat. Get a small kit, you know, get a taste, something you can cut your teeth on, but that won't break the bank and won't leave you with a bunch of supplies you'll never end up using. That would be a good starter kit, is the Chainmail Joe starter kit. They've got like a $50 one and a $100 one, and it comes with a booklet of tutorials and a bunch of different ring sizes. You got a bright aluminum one and an anodized aluminum one, so you can get some color in there. And it comes in a beautiful box. I'm gonna get one and I'll start showing it off on stream so people know what I'm talking about. But that's a good kit if you want to delve a little bit further than an initial little bracelet or necklace type deal, right? So check those out before you go and, spend a lot of money on supplies that you don't know what you're going to do with yet. What else? The Mailworks app is in the link tree in my bio. It is filled with resources for new and veteran chainmail artists, and it's free. There is a link to my website in there. My website is myusername.com, mailworks.com. I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories, and I come on and I stream on here and I show people what chainmail is, and I talk about it incessantly, and I try to make cool stuff to impress people so that they too want to make their whole personality about chainmail like me, and then they buy stuff from me. That's my whole goal. No, I do this to introduce people to chainmail, but also when you purchase something from my store, it does help fund projects like this. So I do appreciate it, and I need to come up with a coupon for everyone who comes and watches my lives. I do appreciate it, so I'm gonna make a discount for y'all. I just haven't done that yet, so please go check out the Mailworks app. Go check out my website. I am going to get out of here at 10 o'clock. I am usually on 8:30 to 10 most nights of the week. And we've had a couple, like me and one other person, hanging out on live. I want to do me and a bunch of people. Maybe try for that, like TikTok exclusive hangout on Friday. So, I don't know. Come say hi. All right. You all have a wonderful evening. I appreciate you being here, for hanging out with me and watching me struggle to put all this together, to put what's in my head down into reality. So thank you for hanging out, and I will talk to you all later. You all have a wonderful evening. Bye.